game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, electricity, that place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Bucs fans were there too. The Bucs.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lee Doom tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like we got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Buccaneers podcast, Saturday special. Little Bucs 49ers preview on our hands today. We're going to give you guys our score predictions, our player of the game thoughts, injury updates, and so much more game intel about our beloved Bucs today as they travel across the United States to take on the San Francisco 49ers. They change multiple time zones, and they're on their way over to San Fran right now, I'd be assuming, with the long travel they got. Your host, Tampa Tones, here, alongside two of the greatest co-hosts you can ask for, J-Lo and Stunna themselves. We'll bring them in here in a minute. You are following us live right now on YouTube at Buccaneers Podcast or on Facebook at Bucs Life LLC. Today, we'd like to thank all the listeners and tuners of the show, and you can catch all of our past episodes and replays on Apple, Spotify, Google Podcast, and so much more here on Buccaneers. Keep up with us on X at Buccaneers and on Instagram at Buccaneers Pod. That is BUCCATEERSPOD. And you can keep up with me at Tampa Tones. But we're here to talk Bucs football. Without further ado, we're going to bring in the man himself, Mr. J-Lo. J-Lo, how the hell are you doing this Saturday? I know your Gators don't play till a little later, and they're playing a fierce competitor, so you're probably enjoying your Saturday while you can, brother. How you doing?
Good, brother, good. Excited for football weekend. Can't wait to get it going. Not looking too great for my Gators. You know, we need a win to come bowl eligible. So
that's why they play the game, though, right? You never know.
Never know.
Stunna, how you doing, brother? You're watching your Miami take battle right now with Louisville, and hope you're doing well, brother. Excited to talk some pigskin with you.
Absolutely. If you're a college football fan, you want your team to win their bowl game. That's how you want to finish the season. No matter what no matter what level they go, you got to win your bowl game. And then even in the playoffs now, you still got to win your bowl game. So that's how you want to finish the season. Big ups to the high school playoffs. Big ups to Buccaneers, Todd Bowles. I want him to go win his job this weekend and beats 49ers. I think he wins his job, obviously. Haters will cry a salty river. But if he loses, you know, it's going to mount to the haters. And it's always going to depend on how they play and what they can get done.
And happy birthday to Coach Bowles as well, as we hope he could get the ultimate birthday gift this weekend and deliver the Buccaneers a W as we combat battle with San Fran. And it's a replay of last year's game. We went on the road to San Fran last year, and it was a tough one. We lost 35-7, only touchdown happened to be a Russell Gage catch. Obviously, don't even have Russell Gage healthy this season, so it's a lot different looking. But as co-defensive coordinator Casey Rogers said, as we have a lot of the same people on all three phases of the ball, special teams, offense and defense, and the coaching staff, it's always important to remember where you've came from, the past history with the team and what has happened. And I think a lot of Bucs fans and a lot of Bucs players and coaches are holding last year's game in the back of their mind. I think they remember what happened last year, the embarrassment it laid on us and Brock Purdy's first career start. And I think some Bucs players are really hungry to go out in San Fran and play at least a clean football game, play a hell of a football game. Stunna, what say you on that? I think the Bucs, although the spread's up to 12.5, opened up around 10 points, so The money's coming in on San Fran, and the bets are coming in on San Fran. I think the Bucks play a closer game than people think, especially with the looky loo coming up this Thursday for the Niners as they battle Seattle.
Yeah, I heard that argument on 620 this week, and a guy from the Niners AP network said that they are more motivated to win home field throughout the playoffs, and they don't want to look down on the Bucks, and they want to try to wipe them out and get in, and they want to get on a winning streak, and they want to try to win that home field advantage throughout the playoffs. So I think they might have the motivation edge.
You think so, J-Lo? What say you? Do you think more like Stunna here where, they're not going to look past us. They're trying to get the home field, this and that. Or do you think it's all right? Maybe they might be doing a look-a-loo type thing here.
Well, it's a hit or miss. I mean, like I said, they could be looking ahead to play Seattle. At the same time, I don't think they're going to overlook us. I'm pretty sure they're pretty focused on trying to take care of business and win the games they're supposed to win. At the end of the day, I think we'll keep it. It'll be a much better game than last year. I think we'll keep it close, and we'll see what happens, man. I mean, I think they're focused on us. So
Yeah, we'll see how clean of a game they play, but I'll tell you what, after coming off a big win against Jacksonville on the road, I'm telling you, man, this is the NFL, East Coast, West Coast. Stranger things have happened. Not saying they're going to be completely sleepwalking, but I wouldn't be surprised by the slightest bit if they at least come out of the gates doing just that. I mean, this is a San Fran team who is on top of the world, smelling themselves after a big win in Jacksonville, and now they're trying to right the ship here against a Bucs team that came off a big win themselves last week against Tennessee. A lot of people had us losing that game. Even some of our own on the show had us losing that game. So I think the Bucs are playing a better brand of football. I think we're going to have to go out there and prove the haters wrong. We haven't done so yet against a competitor really this year. I know the Saints are leading the division, but still, I don't view them as the cream of the crop so far against the quote unquote cream of the crop. We're 0-3. That's against Buffalo, Philadelphia, and Detroit. So we got to go out there and win one of these big games. And what a time like the present to maybe upset a sleeping giant in the San Francisco 49ers. And it looks like the Bucs are going to be all healthy going into this one, fellas. Only guy who might be down is Ryan Neal. Obviously didn't play that great of a role to begin the year. I partially blame the staff on having him out of place and out of field, but obviously not a huge loss losing Ryan Neal. I think we're going to be healthy otherwise. And really, what catches my eye is Luke Gadecki being healthy out there when we do have to face the likes of a Chase Young coming off the edge and a Bosa coming off the edge and that sort of thing. Jayla, what say you on the status of the health of the Bucs? You got to be feeling pretty decent as a Bucs fan looking at the injury bill on this one and thinking, all right, it could be a lot worse given we already had our bye week. We're getting a little late into the season now. We could be a little more banged up than what we are heading into this battle, Week 11, San Fran.
well, for one thing, I'm glad Luka Decky is going to be playing 'cause we're going to need him on the right side. He's been playing pretty good football on his end of the bargain. I'm more concerned about the interior offensive line, blocking guys like Armstead, Hargrave. That's going to be the major key. Hopefully, we're going to run the
You're a
ball
little
up
low,
the
J-Lo.
middle.
Any chance you could get a little closer to the mic?
Can you
You're
hear me
you're
now?
coming in a little low on volume, brother. Any chance you could get a little? Yep,
Can you hear me now?
yep. Keep going.
Can you hear me? Okay. No, I was saying I'm more focused on the interior line, as far as that goes, how they're going to do blocking guys like Armstead and Hargrave. Hopefully we'll do more counter runs or tosses more than going up the middle because I'm just not sold on the interior. By having Gadecki and Wirfs, I think they'll be able to hold up on their own and kind of keep the pass rush in check. I feel like because Boza is a beast, but he's not really the same like he was last year. He's been off to a rusty start, and Chase Young hasn't really came on since his rookie year. So, and Gadecki did a pretty good job against Hutchinson against Detroit. So, as far as health wise, I think we're in pretty good shape. Ryan Neal's not much of a big loss. No disrespect to him as a player, But at the end of the day, we're looking pretty good, and having Carlton back could be a plus. Hopefully, we'll get the Carlton against, you know, Brandon Ayuk most likely, and he'll play out his best, as he's considered one of the top corners to cover from Jamar Chase's point.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to having Davis and Dean out there. I still think they're one of the better duo corners in the league, and I'm not necessarily worried about the injury slate to this point, as we keep alluding to just Ryan Neal. You do have a couple guys banged up. You just hope a Luke Gadecki holds up, and internally you do get Matt Filer back. So just in case, whether it's inside outside, you do have another body on the O line in Matt Filer to kind of help you build some depth there just in case of injury or whatnot. Stunna, what say you on the status of our injury? Got to be pretty happy going into this one. You're getting Carlton back. Mike is a go. Luke Gadecki's a go. Week 11 in the NFL, oftentimes a lot of rosters are looking like grocery lists in terms of injuries. Not so much here with the Bucs.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Carlton go. I would love for our defense to step up, play hard, and shut them down. Or I would love to see our interior offensive line, make plays and be able to block their front. That'd be exciting.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens here. We got to just reel it in, focus on San Fran at this point, and go from there. I see a lot of fans already trying to pack it in and move to draft talk. It's like we're 4-5. We have a chance to go on the road here consecutive weeks and try and sneak away with one of these road wins, if not both, and really try and right the ship here and get into contention for not only the division, but perhaps the wild card as well in the 7th seed. So we'll see what happens, and we'll go from there in terms of division chances, wild card chances, and all that good stuff. We're going to get into score predictions now because no time like the present, and we do have Cats here with us as well. J-Lo, how you feeling about Sunday? The spread's sitting at 12 and a half. Do you see it being that big of a point gap? Do you got the Bucs upsetting? And the lay of the land for score predictions, do you think we deliver Todd Bowles a birthday gift?
Well, first and foremost, happy birthday to Todd Bowles, and hopefully the team will prove me wrong as I'm predicting. We'll probably end up dropping this game, but not a blowout. I think we'll keep it close and lose by probably a 10-score loss, in my opinion. Like I said, the Niners are fully stacked, I feel, and it's going to be tough to really predict how what team shows up tomorrow. But that's what I'm hoping. Just give me good effort in the trenches, play hard, and put a little fear of God in this football team because I feel like we're talented enough to compete against anybody in the NFL with the right coaching and right play calling.
Yeah, Stunna, what say you? What's your score prediction here? J-Lo, I don't think you gave us an exact score. I think you just said a 10-point game. Stunna, what's your actual score prediction here, brother?
Niners 42-17.
Wow, you think it's going to be a big, big blowout. Cats will go to you. J-Lo, make sure you get that score for us. Cats, first off, welcome in, brother. Happy weekend. Happy Saturday. Hope it's going fantastic for you. Coming off the heels of a Bolts win this past Thursday. Let's try and make it Tampa 2 this weekend with the Bucs win. How you doing, brother, first and foremost? And what's your thoughts on the score for this one?
I'm doing all right, thank you. Yeah, hopefully the Bolts can win another, and I hope you had a great time at that game. Yeah, this is this is a tough one, not because they're not knocking the Bucs even. It's just the Niners. Whenever I watch the 49ers, and I haven't seen them a lot this year, I know they had that little losing streak there for a bit. I feel like they're operating at a different speed than the opponent so often, and I think there's a lot of reasons for that. One, they're very talented, and two, they have a coach that I wouldn't call brilliant, but I think he's an incredible football mind. So, but to answer your question, I don't think it's going to be an outright blowout. That 12-point spread, I expected it to actually be a bit higher. So I do see the Bucs dropping it by 2 scores. I think it's going to be like a 31-16 game for the 49ers. So it'll be better than last year's, which was a just complete disaster, where the Bucs really I didn't feel they really showed up at all for that game in Santa Clara last season. all the focus was on Tom Brady. Remember, nothing against Brady, but no, Brady, maybe he'll be a Niner next year and all that. His last game ever in his hometown, and which I don't think he cared to hear that storyline either. And the game itself was just awful. So I think you'll see a much better effort than that. But I think ultimately it's still going to end up being a loss for the Bucs.
Yeah, remember all those storylines? Brady gets to go home, sleep in his bedroom, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Is he going to play next year? A lot of swirling emotions. Brock Purdy's first career NFL start. Obviously, that game ended up being the ultimate debacle. As Pops texts in the show, he's got Bucks 31-27. J-Lo, you got a score for us, brother? I know you said a 10-point loss. You got an exact score?
Yes. I say 28-18. I think the defense will play some pretty good ball, but at the end of the day, we're going to be pretty much playing catch up again. And I think we'll drop 28-18. I like it better than last year's score, truthfully.
You know what? A lot of people are down and out. I get it. Heading into Thursday, a ton of people were down and out on the Lightning as well, and they bounced back with a gutsy, gritty performance on a road against a team they just lost to the week before. You know, the Bucs are on the road again in a gritty, gutsy performance against a team they lost to the year before. I'm thinking the Bucs take the high road here. I think they're going to have to do everything they can to pull out this win. They're going to have to play the cleanest of games, the crispest of games, not miss a field goal or extra point, not shank a punt, not have turnovers, not drop interceptions defensively like we've seen a lot last week. I mean, man, we had the chance at 4 or 5 interceptions against Will Levis. We only came away with one. Thank gosh we did get that one, as it was our starting secondary's first of the season, but we could have had 7 or 8. It felt like Levante dropped one, a couple other D-backs dropped him. It's just the point that the Bucs are going to have to play a really clean brand of football if they expect to win this Sunday against San Fran. Not only play our best game we could, but play our best game of the season and have San Fran a little bit prone to mistakes as well and not capitalize on some of the opportunities that may arise for them, especially near the red zone when they cross the 50-yard line, slow their offense up and things, get into Brock Purdy's head, maybe Yaya Diaby, Marquise Watts, and the likes. Provide a sense of spell for the pass rush and get a pep in their step heading into San Fran. I think a little looky-loos going on. I got the Bucs in a huge upset here, 26-24. Bucs win on a Chase McLaughlin game-winning field goal as time expires, as he continues to be one of the better free agents we bring in from this offseason. The former U of I native has had a nice little foot when the ball hasn't been blocked thus far this year. I'm going with the Bucs in a huge upset, and I think Chase McLaughlin helps get us there, but it's not coming easy. It's as time expires here, in my opinion. And being said with that, I'm going to get into my player of the game now as well. Give me Chase McLaughlin for the player of the game. If we get to 26 points, that means he's going to have a lot of field goals. Hopefully no missed extra points. Hopefully it's a lot of field goals. Give me Chase McLaughlin as my player of the game, as he has a kick that sets us over the top in this one. Katz, who's your player of the game in Sunday's battle?
Well, given that I picked for the Bucs or for just in general?
In general, it could be from the Niners or the Bucs, even, whatever side of the ball or whatever side of the sideline, I guess you see having a better performance.
Oh, my heart would love to pick a Buck in this game, and I think some guys will have some good games. But if I had to pick one, I think you're going to see Christian McCaffrey have a big game. Not necessarily in the run game, because we stopped the run very well, but they're just so clever in how they use him. I feel like he's just, like I said, I feel like the 49ers are, and maybe I'm the only one who sees this. I may not, but I just feel like their offense is always, and their defense is always just seems to be at a different speed than most opponents. It seems to me. So
I see. I feel like last year, remember they kept throwing to Kittle and throwing to Kittle. I felt that last year. I think you're exactly right on that.
Yeah, there's always someone in motion with Kyle Shanahan. Remember, Kyle Shanahan cut his teeth here on John Gruden's staff. I mean, the Bucs must have at some point saw something in him, obviously, that he was going to make a good coach in this league. He hasn't won a Super Bowl as a head, or won any of them as a head coach, but Yeah, he's just always got someone in motion, it seems, and you got all their receivers block as well as any team that I've seen. Them and the Lions too, but guys like Ayuk and Jennings, and of course Debo Samuel, the way they block downfield for McCaffrey and for Kittle, it's just outstanding. And um, yeah, I think it's just a tough matchup for us and for any team that faces them. Really, it's not even a knock on the Bucs, just a very tough matchup, and the Jags learned that last week.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so deep, right? You want to double Debo and have Ayuk over the top and Kittle underneath and McCaffrey out of the backfield. So many weapons, not to mention that Trent Williams guy at left tackle keeps Purdy pretty upright and pretty clean as well. Stunna, player of the game from you, either side of the ball, Bucks, 49ers. What say you, brother? And I will say this, Todd Bowles, I just seen a picture on X. The Bucks are representing him well for his birthday. Jamel Dean's wearing a really cool T-shirt of back when Todd Bowles was in his playing days, and he's cheesing, saying "Happy Birthday, Todd Bowles." I think the guys are going to be a little fired up, playing with a little extra grit on Bowles' birthday weekend here tomorrow.
Yeah, I guess Brandon Ayuk from the Niners. It doesn't matter. I mean, we can't really. I don't think we can block them. I don't think that we, can stop their passing attack or their running attack. I like our defense though. If our offense could keep them fresh, they have a tendency to fall out when they're not. If they have to stay on the field too much, they'll just lay down. But um, I mean, we really haven't played well against good defenses. And
Mm-hmm.
what we did last week, I underestimated how bad Tennessee's offense was. So I really hope and wish we could do it. As a fan, I really don't like the Niners, but I just think we're overwhelmed this week.
Yeah, as we keep alluding to, just so much fluff and star power offensively. You could double team two of the guys and still not be able to cover your tail on the rest of them. It's pretty crazy. And they do have one of the better O lines in the game as well. J-Lo, so far we got Ayuk, McCaffrey, Chase McLaughlin. Where are you seeing the player of the game standing? Whose sideline? What side of the ball? What say you?
Well, I think overall it's hard to really pick a 49er player, but I'll go and throw a bright side and I'll say Kalijah Kancey. I like what the kid's doing, getting in there, shutting down the run. I think we're going to see a lot more of him getting after Christian McCaffrey on the run plays. I think at the end of the day, we'll end up losing to the Niners passing game because our DBs, unless we play man, which finally we did, but we keep playing zone, we're just going to get picked apart on defense.
I'll tell you what. I mean, Kalijah Kancey has been incredible. It's only been a handful of games in his NFL career to this point, but when he's up there, when Vita Vea is up there, when Shaq or Yaya or JTS are actually getting a good push on the quarterback, it's hard, man. And I will say some unique packages have been on the horizon defensively. You see Vita and Kancey split out wide sometimes and rush the quarterback, and then you get our edge rushers up the middle. I was hearing Tristan Wirfs saying he felt bad for the defensive line when they had to deal with guys like Vita Vea and Kancey coming off the edge. So I think this Bucs front seven's only going to continue to get more fun and grow as the season continues. A lot of youth and young guys on that D line, like a Kalijah Kancey, like a Yaya Diaby, like a Marquis Swats, even JTS Logan Hall. You're going to continue to see growth and teamwork collectively as a unit on the offensive, or I'm sorry, on the defensive front seven. And I think we're only going to continue to get stronger as the year goes. We showed pretty good against Will Levis last week, but again, that offense has been sputtering with the rookie quarterback after Levis torched the Falcons. He's came back down to planet Earth the past couple of weeks against teams like Pittsburgh and against teams like Tampa Bay. Not to mention, Pittsburgh does have a really good defense, so can't really take anything away from them there as we are here on the Buccaneers here, as we are taking battle with the 49ers in about 27 hours or so from now. The game is at 4:05 Eastern, not 3:05, which to me makes no damn sense. First off, I hate the 4:05 kickoffs. To me, everything should be 4:25. I know you might get some fans who say, "Oh, what if every game ends early?" I've personally never seen every single game end early. I've never seen every single game end by 4:05. So, you'd think a game like Bucs Niners would be 4:25, but it is what it is. And we are on Fox tomorrow with Joe Davis, Daryl Moose Johnson, who's an absolute Bucs hater. So hopefully he's not
Hmm.
too bad tomorrow. He hates us, right, Cats? You know that.
I've always felt that he hated the Bucks. I've always my only theory for it just always was, and I normally won't say that about announcers. Normally, I think they call it down the middle and do a good job. But I always thought he didn't like the Bucks, and I always figured it was because he was jealous that Mike Allstott was better than him. Plain and simple.
Yeah, and I mean, you're just providing facts right there. Elstott was better, and
Preach.
you've heard it before, right? Like Troy Aikman holds it against some guys because other commentators do the same thing. Joe Theismann did it against us when we played the Redskins back in that playoff game back in '06, I believe, when the Bucks ended up losing to Washington that season. It just hates to be biased, but you see it with Moose Johnson. J-Lo will ask you this. Katz gave his announce an opinion. We're back on Fox tomorrow. How do you feel about the bugaboo of kind of switching back and forth between CBS and Fox this year? In years past, the NFC 99% of the time aligned with Fox and AFC 99% of the time aligned with CBS. Does that grind your gears much, or does that not really bother you in terms of what station the Bucks are on?
No, usually I'm always been a Fox guy growing up, being a Bucks fan. I gotta say Fox is usually my go-to. Didn't care for CBS, but wherever shows a Bucks game, I'm happy for it. Either way, I was so used to getting blacked out all the time over the years, not able to watch a Bucks game unless you buy a ticket, which is ridiculous. But I gotta say, they need to stick with one, Fox or CBS, when it comes to during the day games.
Yeah, that would be nice. I'm not quite even sure the reasoning. I think the collective bargaining network agreement was up, and it kind of just became a free for all type of grab. Stunna, um, any thoughts on? I know you're a season ticket holder, so 2 weeks in a row we're on the road. Any thoughts about back to back road games? Would you have liked to see a home game after the 49ers, or do you not mind it necessarily since the Bucks play at least even on the road, if not maybe a little better?
I would have liked to see the Bucks practice on the West Coast this week. We've never tried that. Belichick does it. The good teams do it. That's what I'd like to see. As far as a team in Fox or CBS, as long as they're not on Amazon Prime, that's what I don't like, the games being on net, channels that aren't offered to regular network television.
Yeah, I feel like there's quite a few bugaboos with Amazon Prime. I agree with you. The biggest being that, hey, these games aren't even televised to the public and it's quote unquote a prime time game, no pun intended. But if it's in a prime time slot, Thursday night football, and half the viewership can't watch it, then what's the point of it, right? I mean, aren't the point of these primetime games so people could watch these games? B, I feel like Kirk Herbstreit is definitely a college guy. I don't really think he gels with the NFL. You'll hear him bring up college stats from like 10, 15 years back ahead of NFL talking points and whatnot. He's a little ahead of his own self in terms of getting into the pool of the NFL to me. Again, not to take away from his college announcement. I think he's a genuine college guy, but in the NFL, not really vibing with him so much. And then C, you could tell Al Michaels feels bothered by the Amazon production as a whole. And I love Al Michaels. I still think he's a great announcer, but he got the bag. That's great. But you had to tell yourself when you're Al Michaels, hey, Amazon Prime probably isn't going to be an upgrade in terms of production quality, all that stuff. So I agree with you. It doesn't necessarily matter to me as much outside of Prime. But if I had to pick, I agree with J-Lo. Fox, I just think has better announced crews, better announced teams, and better presentation for a game than CBS does. I think even the Fox little jingle is a little bit better in my point of thought as well. So Saturday, um, you know, college football, it doesn't really matter as much. NFL, I kind of like the brand supremacy a little bit, but hey, at the end of the day, what can you do? YouTube TV's actually been a decent step. I haven't really encountered the problems I thought I would, opposed to NFL Sunday tickets. So we'll see where we end up in years down the road. You never know what's going to happen, who's going to get bargaining rights to network agreements, and all of that good stuff in the world of football. But real quick, we're going to talk about the NFC South here, as we're a half game back in the South of the Saints. We're ahead of the Falcons. We're in second place by ourselves, and we're a game and a half back of the 7 seed, the Minnesota Vikings, who have a pretty tough matchup suddenly this week out of nowhere on the road against Denver in Sunday Night Football. So, Katz, I'll start with you. A, more obtainable, the NFC South or the wild card, and B, do you think the Bucs end up pulling off either?
More obtainable, the NFC South, although you do have a tiebreaker with Minnesota. Minnesota, I think, is shown to be a better team than anyone else in the South. They've already knocked off everybody except for us, but they've already knocked everybody off. So
That's
I believe
a
the
very
NFC
good
South.
point.
Yeah, we're the only NFC South team that has beaten them. Now, obviously, they're still, even with they played great ever since Justin Jefferson went down, and even with Cousins down too. Seems like when they suddenly everybody stepped it up for them. I do think the Bucs win the NFC South. I think all they have to do, I make it sound easy here, is if you can win the rest of your division games, and I think that's very doable. You then just need to win one other, and that maybe two others. If I'm doing, how many division games we have left? 3. Yeah, we have 3 division games left and 5
4.
non-division. Did I do that right? We have 4. Oh, that's right. You have Carolina twice. Well, some combination of winning the New Orleans and the Atlanta game and then 3 other wins is basically what I think would get it done. So yeah, I really think that that's very doable. Obviously, you look back and you wish you could have had that Atlanta game or that Houston game. Although now you watch Houston last week, and all of a sudden, I still don't feel good about giving up a touchdown when they had 46 seconds left and being torn up. But I also watched the Texans go into Cincinnati and get a win, and I'm like, well, they didn't exactly just lose to a bunch of tomato cans either. So yeah, ultimately, I do think the Bucs win the NFC South.
Right, you kind of understand it a little more. I mean, again, I think you hit the nail on the head, Cats. I wish we could have won that Houston or Atlanta game. Houston makes a little more sense watching him as time goes, but at the end of the day, you're still upset on how the Bucs lost that game, right? It's more so of the point that, hey, even if we were playing the Chiefs in that game, the fact of the matter is you had the game won, and then you played such crappy defense in 5 plays and you blow it like that. So I agree with you completely. And I think the NFC South personally is more obtainable as well. I agree. I know that we do have the tiebreaker with the Vikings, and they have a pretty tough schedule, including 2 games left with Detroit. They're at Denver, have a couple of tough division opponents with the Bears and the Packers remaining still. So their schedule's tough, but I still think the NFC South is more of an obtainable task. And as you said, I think, 8, 9 wins gets us there. Really, if we win 3 out of 4 at the very least against the South, that already puts us at 7 wins. And then if we win 1 to 2 other games on the rest of the year, we should be able to win the NFC South. The Saints are inconsistent. They keep getting QB injuries as well. And I know Carr hasn't played great, but when you get Jameis in the game, you never know what the hell's going to happen. He might hand you some free points like we seen the previous week. J-Lo? NFC South or the 7 seed more obtainable for the Bucs, and do you see either one happening?
No, I definitely see us in the playoff future for sure. Well, it's the division of the 7th seed, but I'm thinking division. Atlanta is just not a strong team right now as far as QB wise. And then the Saints, they look very broken, if you ask me. Not scary at all. But at the end of the day, I see us getting the 4 seed, win the division, and hopefully we'll get somebody, not Dallas, hopefully maybe Seattle. I think we can give them a better game than Dallas could. At the end of the day, I still believe we can pull off 9 to 10 wins. Like I said, this will probably be one of our only losses besides Jacksonville, Casino, a team that can take it. But the rest of the way, I think we'll get it together. And Baker's playing pretty good ball right now, protecting and not turning the ball over.
Stunna, what say you? Do you agree with us that we have a path to the playoffs, either the 7 seed or the NFC South? And Do you think that the Bucs are able to cross that finish line? A lot of football left. We're in week 11. Bucs have only played 9 games to this point. So we still have a good 8 games left on our schedule. That's a lot of ball left to be played. That's a lot of ball left to be had.
Yeah, we have an easier path to the NFC South title than in the playoffs, I believe. And yeah, we have a chance at the NFC South title based on if New Orleans falls apart or if we can ever get over the Atlanta hump.
Yeah, I agree with that. The Atlanta hump has been hurting us of late, and we've held New Orleans. We've handled them. And really, Todd Bowles, outside of the Atlanta debacle, has held the NFC South in a pretty good standing. Last year, only lost 2 games to them. One of them, he went 4-2 against the South last year with losses coming against Carolina when we were in our rut, and then the kick away game in Week 18 against Atlanta. Then this year, we've beaten the Saints and lost to Atlanta. So overall, he's 5-3. So this is a big NFC South game, or this is a big NFC South title picture for Todd Bowles. He has the upper hand against the South. We still have 4 games remaining against the South. If he could go 3-1 down the stretch against these guys, which he's proven he could last season, I think the Bucs really do get into that NFC South playoff picture. And for all the guys saying, "Oh, we should be tanking this and that," this quarterback class is so dang deep. I don't care if it's beginning of round 2, late round 1. As Fabricio's tuned in on Facebook, my man, a great guy. Thanks for joining us, Fabricio. But whether it's late round 1, early round 2, however the cake is sliced, however the cookies crumble, the quarterback's going to be there for the taking next year. Look at Will Levis with the Titans this year. Not saying he's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but he's offering potential. So the Bucs could take their quote unquote potential future quarterback next year and still play to win this year. Damn it. I'm over the losing talk, the tank talk, all of that stuff. To me, if you're hoping for that, God bless. Look at the Panthers this year, gave up all that draft capital for a ho-hum overall number 1 quarterback. But we are reaching the top of the hour here on the Buccaneers Saturday special NFL Week 11 Bucs 49ers preview. Friendly reminder, going to outline the remainder of our schedule for the rest of this week and next week before we give our final words and one big things and walk-offs here as we wrap up this beautiful Buccaneers Saturday special. You guys are tuned in on YouTube at Buccaneers Podcast or Facebook Bucs Life News. Keep up with us on X at Buccaneers. Keep up with us on Instagram at Buccaneers Pod. But we'll be here tomorrow, 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Breakfast with the Buccaneers, giving all of our gambling predictions, our prop bets, our game day breakdowns, injury updates. JC Allen in the house. So, sup, fellas? What up, JC? Yeah, maybe JC Allen will have some game day news we could get into tomorrow on one of his tweets or something. So, join us tomorrow on the Breakfast with the Buccaneers, 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time. We are the first pregame show for the Bucs each and every Sunday, so we pride ourselves on that. Come get your coffee, get your bacon, eggs, pancakes, and get ready for Bucs game day with Breakfast with the Buccaneers. Then Tuesday night, time to be announced, probably around 6:30 Eastern Time. We're going to be doing Tune Me Up Tuesday as we get ready for Bucs Colts. We're going to invite Joey from Cleveland, me, my brother, on that one as he's a Colts guy. Hopefully he could pick his brain a little bit for the Colts game. And then Thursday, we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving Day special, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, Thanksgiving morning. We're not only going to be getting into the Bucs Colts preview, but we're going to be breaking down Thanksgiving games and Black Friday games as well as Thanksgiving. We have 3 NFL games and the Egg Bowl that night. And then Black Friday, we have Jets Dolphins. So a lot of good Buccaneers coming up tomorrow, Tuesday, Thursday. Make sure you keep it with us right here on the Buccaneers over the next week or so and get all the latest and greatest and so much more from Tampa Tones and the rest of the guys as we love to do. J-Lo, what's your final word, brother, on the Buccaneers here on this beautiful Saturday show as we gear up for Sunday? J-Lo? Maybe I see he's on mute there. So we'll try with Cats. Cats, what say you, brother? What's your final word here on the Buccaneers?
Well, put forth a good, honest effort against a team that you're not supposed to beat. Maybe take care of the football, and who knows? You force a couple turnovers, maybe give yourself a win chance in the fourth quarter, and who knows? Maybe the ball bounces your way and you pull out a win. Anything's possible.
Yeah, and just in the world of the NFL, what's your one big thing in walk-off? Or just in sports in general, brother? Hockey, football, anything you want to throw at us?
Mm. Well, in the NFL for this week, obviously we've got a Super Bowl rematch on Monday night. That's a game I'm looking forward to, and yeah, I think that'll be maybe one of the higher rated Monday night games in recent memory. In fact, and I expect that to be an absolutely terrific game. And I guess I'll throw out my prediction. I think Kansas City wins this rematch as well.
Yeah, so the spread's been crazy too. It started the week with Kansas City getting 2 to 3 points at home. Um, and now they're -3 at home. So that Eagles Chiefs game is going to be incredible. Not nearly the same magnitude, but I'm even looking forward to Sunday Night Football, Broncos, Vikings. So my one big thing in walk-off is enjoy the world of NFL and college football. We don't have many weekends left, especially at college football, but we're getting late into the season. On a Saturday or Sunday, plant your ass on the couch and make sure you throw, some TVs on. If you have multiple, if not, just one, and keep up with the rest on your phone. As Pops text in, when the Bucs win the division, is $60 investment will pay $825. That's a pretty damn good potential payout there. So good to get those odds, and I wish I got those odds. I do have them winning the South, but I don't think I got quite as nice odds as those. But that was before a lot of shenanigans happened. Stunna, final word for the Bucs and one big thing in walk-off in the world of sports, brother.
For the Bucs and the Buccaneer faithful, just keep bailing water. We're going to take some cannon fire, never give up the ship. Tired of seeing these bandwagon fans. 49er fans always been a bunch of bandwagoners, and can never stand them growing up, can't stand them now. We just got to get through this, and eventually we'll get our chance. But look at the bright side, at least we're in the division, at least we're winning games, at least we're not the Yucks. That being said, fire the cannons and hoisted sails, go Bucs.
I love it, brother. J-Lo, we'll try you one more time, my man. If not, I'll give our score predictions one more run through, and we'll bounce on out. J-Lo, any final word for the Bucs and one big thing in walk-off in the world of sports on this beautiful Saturday?
Yes, sir. Like I said, win or lose tomorrow, I'll still be a Bucks fan for life. Doesn't matter. Let's be thankful. It could be a lot worse. We could have a more disaster organization like Carolina right now or New Orleans. At the end of the day, fire them cannons. Let's enjoy the college football world. Hopefully, my Gators will get a win tonight. If not, 4-6 next. And let's go get a dub tomorrow. Let's see if they prove me wrong. Go Bucks.
Yeah, thanks again to special friends of the show who tuned in today's program, Saturday special. Kyle Houston on Facebook, Fabricio on Facebook, Pops, and so many more. Olivia J.C. Allen from Sports Illustrated. So really great stuff there, fellas. I hope everybody's enjoying their college football Saturday. I hope everyone's teams get a W. J-Lo, good luck to your Gators. Stunna, Miami. Not going to lie, I got a little cheddar on Louisville. I'd feel next if I was lying to you, or I'd feel bad if I was lying to you. So I'm going to have to pull for a Louisville slight victory just because I got cheddar.
That's where your money should be.
Aligned with them. But hey, at least if Miami wins, you're happy. So at the end of the day, at least something good comes out of it. And then the Nittany Lions are battling the Rutgers right now. And then Cats, let's hope the Lightning could get another victory this week, and that'd be great. It was great seeing one on Thursday, and great being with some good Lightning Road fans. Once again, score prediction: Stunna 42-17, 49ers. Cats 31-16, 49ers. J-Lo 28-18, 49ers. Pops 31-27, Tampa. Tones 26-24, Tampa's. Some of the player of the games mentioned have been Ayuk and CMC on the San Fran side of the ball. And then on the Bucs side of things, we have the great rookie Kalijah Kancey and the great free agent signing Chase McLaughlin as nominees for that. Fire the damn cannons. Go Bucs. We'll be right here tomorrow The fellas will be bringing it early, 9:05 a.m. Eastern, on the Way Too Early pregame show. Breakfast with the Buccaneers. Cats, J-Lo, Stunna, enjoy your Saturdays, gentlemen. Thank you for making this one a fun one.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks, Tones. Go Bucs, baby. See you tomorrow.
See you later, fellas. It's been fun. It's been incredible. It's been a really good time here on the Buccaneers. Happy birthday, Coach Todd Bowles. Live it up tonight, brother. I know you can't do too much in a road game, in a road environment, but you could do one thing. Get a win on your birthday. Fire the damn cannons. Do it for Todd Bowles. Go Bucs. 3-2-1. Carlton Davis interception heading the other way. Pick six. Chase McLaughlin. Extra point to win the game. Fire the damn cannons. Go Bucs. See you tomorrow, 9:05 a.m. Eastern. Same spot, same place, same people, different talk. We love everybody. Have a great day. Enjoy your college football. Stop wasting your time on us and go watch a beautiful world of college football. Lose some money even if you have to. Have a blessed day. Tampa Tones, J-Lo, Stunna Cats, and the rest of the fellas wish a blessed day for all you guys. Fire the damn cannon. See you later. Go Bucs. Game on Sunday, man. I know you're nervous for the Rams, but you got to be a little enthusiastic after being there.
Bro, that game atmosphere was ridiculous. The energy, the electricity. That place was rocking. Anyone was there, and a lot of the Super Buck fans were there too. The Buck.
Tampa Tones. We are joined by Lee Goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron Show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little cleared. But we're joined by Pat
It looks like
Donovan.
Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something.